Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ocean's Pit, the little show about big things. Hope you guys are having a great day today. Check the website, TonyOceanMusic.com, and give us a call at 847-769-8609 to book a show. Every show is dedicated to the first responders, but mostly it's dedicated to people like you who take the time and watch the show every day, whether you're watching it on lunchtime or you're watching it anytime you want here on the show. Monday through Friday, it's lunchtime fun. It is Friday, January 3rd, and we're excited. We got a great show today. We got a friend. His name is Mike Miller, and he's the founder of Ohio Night Stalkers. And I'm going to tell you something, man. Whether you believe it or not, I follow. You know how I love sci-fi. I love all that stuff. But I've been a big Bigfoot and Yeti and Loch Ness and all those different types of creatures that have not been discovered yet. But I believe that they're out there. And Mike Miller runs in a great organization called the Ohio Night Stalkers. And we already played some of the footage, some of the highlights of the clippings of the sound effects. And we got a lot of stuff we're going to talk about here today. But we have a good show, so let's ready to roll. I'm excited. Let's go to work, everybody. Absolutely. It's one of those days, and I hope you guys we're already into January 2025. Who knew? Boy, man, that like we just talked about 2024, how it just flew by. And 2025, I think we're up for some great adventures coming up, especially with the new president taking charge on the 20th of January. We're excited about that. But we have to just be positive on everything moving forward. For this world is really crazy right now. So I'm glad you guys get a chance to sit and watch the show Monday through Friday. As you know, how the concept goes, Monday is a solo show. Tuesday is Twisted Tuesday with Carol Brandolino. Wednesdays and Fridays we have guests. And, of course, every Thursday with Laura Ocean, my co-host. So it is a great weekend, and I hope you guys are ready to have a little fun, even though it's supposed to get some snow. We had a little snow yesterday. I didn't catch any of it. We didn't get too much here in the Elk Grove area, but there was some on the south side of Chicago got a little bit more snow. But they're predicting more snow Sunday through Tuesday. Supposedly, we'll see what happens with that. Let's get right to our sponsor, folks. Let's not forget our good friends from Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local. Norris Plains, Evergreen Park, Warrenville, Mesa, Arizona, and more. U-Haul Rentals and all their locations are here for all your moving needs, personal, business, small loads. They have you covered. Take advantage of the Auto Key program at all their stores. They program car cut keys up to 50% less than dealership. Visit the Helpful Hub to speak to a certified team member. That's our good friends from Ace Hardware. They have indoor and outdoor decor, 30% off. And you got to love our good friends from Ace Hardware, because buy local, shop local is the name of the game, folks. They've been helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods, our good friends from Ace Hardware. And thank you again for booking for 2025 with Ace, from the sponsor of the show. But we're going to do lot more stuff with Raffaello and Jackie. They're the owners of these particular Ace Hardware stores. Like we're going to have the Allstate Minute, the Ace Hardware Minute, will show us how to repair stuff. So we're going to do a lot more stuff in 2025 with Ace Hardware. So we're excited about that. Let's get right to yesterday, folks. Our very first show of 2025 was at Zaza's in Lake Barrington. I want to thank Double T, Tony Toto, for that. It was great seeing Sonny and Ross and Russ. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. Jeff Hunt, too, as well as Jason from Seventh Heaven. Thank you, guys. Filippo. For the first show over there, it was a little slow, but you know what? That's part of the new year, after Christmas, after the holidays, after New Year's. Everybody's all a little stressed out. But tonight, sold out show at Chicago Prime Steakhouse in Schaumburg with Jerry Jams. I'll be excited about that. And tomorrow we're doing a great little private party on Saturday. But check the website. Got a lot of stuff, and there's so many more gigs coming up, and we'll talk more about that as we go along, folks. First, let's get, like I said, at 12:15, we'll have Mike Miller on from Ohio Night Stalkers. I'm really excited about this episode because, we have different people, different guests on, from celebrities to sports guys to lawyers to politicians to the average 9 to 5. We have everybody on, but somebody's selling a book, somebody put a new record out, whatever it is. But we want to let everybody know what people are doing around this country. And I love Bigfoot. I've always followed that, and some people think I'm a little botch, but I think we're going to learn a lot more from this kind of conversation when Mike Miller be joining us very shortly, folks. All right, let's get to another quick sponsor if we can, and then, of course, we're talking about real estate with our good friend Mary Grievous, folks. That's right, real estate at its finest. Don't just call me when you're ready to buy or sell. Contact me when you're considering buying or selling. She is the girl for you. In fact, that's right. She's available. Says buyers, sellers, for sale by owners, expired listings, Berkshire Hathaway Stark Real Estate. That's Mary Grievous at mgrievousstarkre.com, or give her a call at 630-688-1725. And she can help you with all your house and needs. And now, folks, besides her being real estate, you also have to know that she does NTD Vacations. And we're looking at NTD Vacations. That means, you know what that is. That's the Chicago Music Cruise 2025. Now, you guys missed the one in January in 2024. Let's not miss this one, folks. It's going to happen at the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line, the Oasis of the Seas this time. The last time we did the Wonders of the Seas. This is going to be the Oasis of the Seas. This is spring break. This is 8 days instead of 6 days. This is 8 hours on every port instead of 6 hours like the one in January. And we're excited. Fort Lauderdale, Carousel, Aruba, and Coco Key, Bahamas. It's going to be a lot of fun, folks. I'm excited. March 22nd to March 30th. This year, 2025, and the list goes on and on. Mojo's Jukebox, my rock band, will be there, folks. The Jersey Girls, all three of them. Scott Chillers from WGN. Wendy Thompson with her tribute to Marilyn Monroe and Britney Spears. Tony Ocean and the Main Event Band. Tony Toto, Jerry Jams, and Ron Starr. Frankie Boom Boom, Hollywood Rodriguez, spinning all your hits. Hillbilly Rock Stars, the #1 country band in the city of Chicago. And, of course, the ringleaders, Seventh Heaven. It's going to happen. Join us. Go to ChicagoMusicCruise.com, put in Tony Ocean, or better yet, give Mary Grievous a call at 630-688-1725 and say, hey, I want to go on the ocean with Ocean, and it's going to be a lot of fun because that's what it's all about. And we just want to also say, congratulations, and we're proud to announce a brand new sponsor for this wonderful show called Ocean's Pit, of course. And we're talking about our good friends, Wendy and Craig from ImpearlX. Now, they were on the show yesterday, folks. Imagine putting your money to work for you, becoming your own bank, and making your dream retirement a reality with guaranteed lifetime income. Now, Wendy Thompson and Craig Coughlin will help you create personal pensions, grow your wealth, secure your legacy. It's never too late to start. Take charge of the financial future today. Call them at 630-890-1213. It's that simple. It's ImpearlX. It's the way to do it. Always doing it right. Always thinking about your retirement, and they're going to answer all your questions. Wendy and Craig at 630-690-1213 here on Ocean's Pit. Buy local, shop local, and always supporting local establishments because that's what it's all about, everybody. We're excited, and we got a lot to talk about this whole week. Now, forget tomorrow. We're off. We won't be back till Monday, but so much going on. Let's see who's watching today, folks. All the way, Patrice. My good friend Patrice, the former Chicago Honey Bear, is in the house. Dan Dennis from Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Mary Margaret. There's Jerry Jams. How you doing? Dick Sayed, Alderman of Des Plaines. Serge, can't wait to see you. Kathy, how are you doing? Ronnie B is in the house. Danny Nozak, Ryan Lewis, Nina, how are you doing? Albert from the Ron Onesti organization. Oh, we got some people from Ohio. Warren, Ohio, calling us today. All our good friends, Kathy Apolito from California is in the house. And we got a lot of good stuff to talk about. All right, a couple more minutes. We're bringing up Mike Miller from Ohio Night Stalkers. But let's talk about some other stuff. Crazy stuff that's going on. We lost Wayne Osmond. For all remember, was as kids growing up. I just turned 62. Back then, you either had the Jacksons or you had the Osmonds. They were always battling against each other. And the Osmonds, of course, with the front man, Donny Osmond. This is Wayne Osmond. He was one that formed the band originally, dies at the age of 73 years old. They said he had some health issues. He died of a stroke. Very, very sad, but it's true. Also, yesterday, 12/29, just a couple days ago, December 29th, 1974, would be the official day that the Beatles actually broke up. And, we love talking about Beatles. We talk about music. But that was the day that they actually put pen to file. And that band actually broke up after years of lawyers and going to the courts and everything. Boy, it was just a horrible mess and a horrible breakup, as the Beatles were. But it happened December 29th, 1974. Also, if you're doing a lot of traveling with the tollway from Chicago to Indiana, as of June 1st, folks, that Skyway bridge, $7.80 now to take that toll every day. Now it's $7.80. $7.80, man. It's just crazy how everything is going. Now, 78 more days till this cruise, so we're excited about that. And with all the nut stuff that's going on here, I don't even know. It's one thing after another. How much we talk about Almost Home Foundation for Dogs, how much we love animals, we love dogs. And some people say, I just don't like dogs. Listen, folks, remember, even the Grinch had a dog. Even Ebenezer Scrooge in certain animated versions of the show had a dog. So what does that tell you? If they have dogs, we need to have dogs too. Mary, have you seen the movie Nowhere Man? Yes, I have. That's a story about the young John Lennon. That was a great movie, actually. Thank you, Mary Margaret. Joanne Lulo, I hope you're doing well. All right, folks, in a couple minutes, Mike Miller is going to be here from the Ohio Night Stalkers. We're talking Bigfoot, Sasquatch, and so much more. I'm excited, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. We talked yesterday about hiring celebrities. Bruno Mars, for 45 minutes, can come to your home for $5 million. And I guess Bruno asked J-Lo and Alex Rodriguez, I guess they're going to get married. They were thinking about hiring Bruno, but they said for 45 minutes for $5 million, they said no. $5 million. It's amazing what people are making these days. There's my good friend Jill from Indiana. How are you doing, Jill? So you must know about that the toll bridge there, right? $7.80 back and forth. Unbelievable. Crazy. It just keeps going up. But hopefully now, when the new President Trump takes over, hopefully some things will change. I'm hoping for the best as much as it is, folks. Derrick Rose, former Chicago Bull, is opening up a pop-up flower shop somewhere in the Chicagoland area. So if you love Derrick Rose with the Chicago Bulls, go out and support that. Very good. Congratulations to Notre Dame winning the Sugar Bowl 23-10. Robert Provenzano, after the horrible stuff that happened in New Orleans. Again, our prayers with that for all the people there, and just horrible. They're finally going to put they need to do something with Bourbon Street, guys, and you know that. They need to put some more protection there because it's a free-for-all all the time. And I thank God, it's just, and then when you find out, we'll talk more about that later on in the hour, but then the Sugar Bowl was played, and I guess Notre Dame won, so congratulations on that. Very interesting stuff here. Boy, I don't even know where to begin of all the crazy stuff that's been going on in this world. And I'm just hoping for things to get better, folks, because you know what? We need it. The last 4 years, it just wasn't that great. And I'm not excited about that. But I am excited about this. Let's bring a guy here, folks, that doesn't have too much time, but he had a day off today. So he made some time for us. And we're bringing him on right now, folks. His name is Mike Miller. And let's see, he's on. He's in charge, the founder of the Ohio Night Stalkers Cryptozoology. Michael, for some people that might know what that is, how about giving us a quick description of cryptozoology?
It is the study of creatures and things that have not been documented and officially accepted by science at this time.
At this time. And we did talk about briefly on the show before the show started that we believe that the government knows that these certain creatures, not every of them, but these certain creatures are out there. And of course, they're not going to let anybody know until there's a dead body found or something like that. But let's talk about Ohio Night Stalkers. When did it start and how did you get into it?
Probably about 2012, it started coming together. It's just kind of weird. You run into people at Bigfoot, like a Bigfoot conference, that have similar interest. And I met this guy named Mike Feltner through another person, and they kind of had a thing going on. And then, but just like bands, there's disagreements and stuff. So all of a sudden, Mike and I kind of had the same viewpoints on how to do this, and we kind of struck out on our own road path, and we started doing this together. We had a few people come out with us, but and then in 2014 is when it like really came together, and we recorded stuff, and that actually put us on a TV show called Terror in the Woods.
Yes, at AMC. And you know what? It's interesting, like you said. I mean, let's go back to 1967, Patterson Gilman film, of course. It's been all over the world. It's been all over the people saying it's a monkey in a suit. But then, like you said, that supposedly the guy that created back then, the only one that could make a costume like that was a designer for the guy who did the Planet of the Apes films. And he said, if this is a suit, you should hire this guy instead of hiring me to make the films. What was your first thing when you first seen that footage there, Michael?
I seen that years ago before I was even doing this. I mean, as a kid, I watched all the shows on that, or Loch Ness, or Aliens, and I just thought it was pretty wild, to see it walking. And what kind of struck me is it just kind of, it looked, and like the cat just did, it was just kind of, it didn't attack, it didn't show teeth, it just kind of ambled off. Like, if you come after me, there's going to be problems. But subsequently, they've done a lot of analysis of that film.
Big time.
Is where they took the original film, they took a digital picture of each frame, and when you run that through, you could actually see the muscles under the skin moving. And Absolutely. That was possible to fake in 1967, and they probably couldn't even do it now. So that means that is something that's alive and walking, or it's somebody sewed hair into their body,
Right, exactly. And then after they've been watching a little bit more, they kind of made it that it was a woman, a species was a woman. It seemed like, because you see the breast, the female. But that took so much criticism and stuff through years and years. But I mean, like you said, they did a lot of tests on it. Now I've seen, like I said, some of the people have heard the clips here, and there's 3 of them. From the Bridge, Ellis, like the baboon, like you said, Beach Mountain, and of course the Hidden Valley. Now, when you had these things done, you record them, and then you send them to people. Obviously, you send them to a sound analyst, David Ellis from the Washington State University. And once he got these things, now this is what he does for a living. Correct, Michael? What does he do for a living, this professor?
He does a lot of things. He's been on a few TV shows, but he is a sound analyst, and he's used, I'm not sure if he's freelance or it's through a company, but the police and fire department use David, and he, Bigfoot has kind of become one of his things he's interested in, because he gets so many people ask him to check out sounds that they've recorded, and and he identifies stuff. Some of the stuff we had wound up being, like an owl or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's what we want. I don't want to take everything that we've recorded and say, hey, this is a Bigfoot or something unknown. Right. If it's an owl, or if it's a deer, if it's something else, we want to know, because we want to kind of put that off to the side and just use, hey, these are the ones that are unknown, and step forward with those, because that's your true evidence right there.
And right. And after analyzing it, they said they couldn't say it was Bigfoot, but they said they have no species that make noises like that, correct?
Yeah, David said that he could not say it was Bigfoot, since Bigfoot's not been certified officially. Right. But he did say he could say that we recorded no known animal in North America, and that one of the the vocalizations, one of the ones I sent you, actually pegged higher than a baboon on the spectrograph, and that was recorded in Adams County, Ohio. And there's no baboons in Adams County, Ohio.
Ohio. There you go. Yeah, that's amazing. Now, people don't realize if you look at the Bigfoot and you look at Sasquatch, there's different names: Almas, the Yeren, the Yowie, the Folkmont of Skunk Ape. They're different, of course. But if you look at these back in the Native Americans, they were paintings on teepees and walls, cavemen even. I mean, there was some sort of big man monster. I don't know if you want to call it that, but it goes back many years. It's not some just crackpot that just came up with this thing. And how many do you think, if they're out there, Michael, how many do you actually believe are out there?
I have no clue. There's more out there than I thought, and the point you made about the Native Americans, yes. And all the Native American tribes have a word for Bigfoot, and it does not describe Bigfoot as a god or a deity. It's
Right.
keeper of the woods, watcher of the woods, hairy man of the woods. It was a force of nature. It was something that they lived alongside, and I think they lived alongside in closer proximity until we got here and started knocking everything down and putting strip malls in and shooting everything. And I think Bigfoot has switched its MO, and it's more active at night because it has less of a chance of running into us.
To us, absolutely.
And our research area, just for information, a lot of the Shawnee Indian tribes were in that area, and their word for Bigfoot translates into the Watchers.
Yeah, and it's amazing. Like I said, all the Native Americans. I mean, it goes back, and then and you hear different stories about the tree knocking. If you watch any of these shows, if you're familiar with, and they're speaking to them or trying to say, "Hey, we're some sort of message." What does the tree knocking actually mean? Why do they do that?
I'm going to guess. I'm not an expert. I'm not Dr. Children, but
Right.
I'm going to guess that it's they're letting others of their kind know that, hey, we got company, and it's the human being that's in the woods in that proximity that's the company. It's like a warning. It's like, hey, we got one.
Be careful, like on that end too. But then you did tell me the story when you guys did one of your when you guys went out to do some for your searching. You were bombarded by boulders.
Yeah, we go into an area and we set up our recording devices, and we're in the dark. We don't use lights or anything. We sit there and talk about 20, 30 minutes, normal voice, to see if anything happens. If nothing happens, we call blast animal sounds. And one of the ones we use, because it really carries, is the sound of a wolf. It's an actual wolf howl that's been recorded, and we'll call blast that, because that usually shakes things up, and you get some type of animal, coyotes, whatever, reacting to it. And this night that happened, the first time we ever did that, we had a vocalization that sounded like a gibbon monkey, like a young gibbon monkey that came across the, sorry, talking with my hands, it came across the ridge towards it, stopped. But after that stopped, in about 20, 30 minutes, we started getting pelted with rocks. Now, that's happened before when we've researched, but it's always been more of the rock in your vicinity kind of, hey, you want to think about leaving kind of deal. That night they were ticked, and I believe they were mad because we scared one of their young ones. The young one cried out, the cavalry showed up. They didn't find a wolf or coyotes, but they found us, and they damaged both vehicles with rocks.
Well, and that's amazing how you do that. But it's also, like her Boyd, one of the listeners, hard to believe that they're so elusive for such a long time and there's no remains. Why do you think, Michael, in your opinion, there's no dead bodies of any Bigfoots?
I don't know. One thing is they live in the gnarliest places they can get to, and if they go, just like your pet, if your pet gets outside and runs away, you're not going to find it. It's just not going to come back.
Right.
I kind of look at it this way: we got squirrels everywhere, but unless you see a squirrel hanging from the power line, where they used to chew into them, or if you see one that was hit in the road by a car, where's all the dead squirrels gone? We should be knee deep in dead squirrels. Nature takes care of itself really quickly.
I agree with that because you're absolutely right. You don't see that many dead squirrels. You know, you see them all over. You see them either they got hit on the road. I too, but if you now every time they show Hollywood or somebody tries to make a movie on these particular creatures, they always making them violent and just biting people's heads off and attacking. We don't know exactly what they're like, but what do you think they're like? You think they're just normal, living their lives just like we would if we lived out in the woods or like we live in our homes, own homes?
Yeah, you know, I kind of feel like there's good and bad people in the world, and there could be the same with these things. And if you're in the area and they've lost a lot of their habitat, maybe they would be a little bit more aggressive. If they feel their young ones are threatened, they're going to be aggressive because any good parent would be aggressive to someone doing something to his children.
To his children, correct, correct.
So,
Um,
shoot
um,
them,
go ahead.
they're probably going to know that you're going to get a bad reaction out of that. But
Well, that makes a lot of sense. And for a while, when everybody back in the 70s, just like you said, when you talked about Bigfoot, when it first came out, it was everywhere. And then, like you said, if you believed in it or you thought of it, someone would take you away with a straitjacket. But then it was years later that Professor Jeff Melbourne, which he's been on many, many shows, and he wrote a lot of books with the casts and everything. I mean, they started taking this guy pretty serious, and more people started to pay attention. And we also know, Michael, that there's parts even of the ocean. Even if you go to Loch Ness, or we found out when Loch Ness came out, it was a prank at one time or whatever it was. But some of these creatures, if you think about it, the ocean has not even been explored. Some of these places are not even explored for people to actually go and find these things.
right, and there's hunters. I've talked to hunters. Some hunters are like, I live in the woods. I've seen nothing. And I'm like, you're out there during the day. You're not out there at 2, 3 in the morning. Big difference. But there's hunters I've talked to that had things happen and they quit hunting because it blew their mind that bad. There was a person that hunted. Um, I'll cut the story short. He had a hard time dragging this deer to it was a big deer. He gutted it. He drug it. Finally got it through all the thickets and everything. Got to his S10, dragged it. Took everything he could. You had to use a rope and everything to get this thing in the back of his truck. Sits in his truck. He's sitting there drinking coffee out of his thermos. The moon is coming through the back window of the S10. All of
Yeah.
a sudden, the moon is absolutely obliterated. He can't see it anymore. And he turns to look. Something walked up to his S10, reached over, grabbed the deer, lifted it up out of the bed of the truck, threw it over its shoulder, and walked away. And he goes, I don't know what in the world that was, but I was not getting out of my vehicle to try to stop it. And that person quit hunting. And when they tell that story, they shake. It's
Yeah.
still
And there was, I read a lot of the books, and I've seen shows where some of these people who actually seen footages or seen a Bigfoot, they won't even go back to these places. That's how much it scared the hell out of them. But Boyd says, how can they be so intelligent? Witness protection? Well,
creatures are pretty intelligent. Dolphins are intelligent. Your own pets are intelligent. I mean, this thing, I don't know what it is. If it's crossed between ape and man, early man, I don't know.
right.
Knows that we're dangerous, and it's it's like the ninjas of the woods. And people talk about Bigfoot being otherworldly and magical powers. I don't think
Yeah.
that. I think it's terrestrial. It's a living creature,
Right.
but it's built to maneuver in its terrain. And when it runs up the side of a hill that we couldn't go up side of the hill, that looks magical. But no, it's built to do that, just like those freaking goats or one of those things are in that one area in that one country that get on those ledges, where the
Right.
slope.
Sure.
That thing is built to do that, to get away from predators. Well, Bigfoot is built a certain way to move in its terrain, and they don't walk like a human being. They walk like a tightrope, one foot in front of the other.
Yeah, absolutely. And Michael, we got Mike Miller, folks, from Ohio Night Stalkers. They got over, I don't know, you got a lot of followers that follow your page, which I think over 20,000, which is very cool. I mean, why do you think that there's so many people are interested in this big phenomenon, Bigfoot?
Well, it's in this day and age, part of it, I think, is people are kind of surprised because a lot of people think everything's been discovered, which it hasn't. In space, in the ocean, and even in the woods. And people are interested, and now they're like, we do a lot of lectures at libraries and some Bigfoot conferences, and people are interested in this because it kind of strikes a chord. It's like they want to know more because they know something's there. Maybe they've heard something. Maybe they've heard a howl. They've heard a wood knock. They went fishing and had something happen, but they know, like, hey, there's just something going on here, and that's what happened with me. How I got drug into this was a news report on my local news about 16, 17 years ago in Ohio, and I thought that was ridiculous. I didn't think Ohio, pardon me, had enough areas of woods to have something like that. I thought it would all be Pacific Northwest, British Columbia.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but the more I looked, I started finding stuff, and that didn't make sense. I didn't think I'd find anything, and but they're there, and their habitat shrinking. And one day we probably will have a body, unfortunately, but they're there. But
Michael, how do you guys decide what spot? You've been doing it so long now. So when you find the right spot, what are you guys going to do next? How does the research come about that?
In the past, we looked up prior reports to see where they happened. So we'll go into an area, and the area is about, it's a good 2-3 hours from where we live, but we go into this area, we set up a base, and then we go during the daytime and do recon. We go look at it because I want to see what I'm getting into. I don't want to drive back into some area and get shot.
Yeah. Because you got to watch out where you're going these days,
Yeah.
especially the way people are lately. And you go out and do. How long do you guys, when you're doing your search? How long usually is it?
It's usually a weekend, and then the daytime part of it is the recon, and we look for. I have a topographical map of areas, so I'm looking for cover and I'm looking for water, and then we go drive back in there and see how woolly it looks, and if it's woolly and hard to get into, it's a good chance something might be there because they know it's hard for us to get in there. So then we will go back there at night and set up
And do your stuff. Well, Michael, I appreciate your time, brother. And, you know what, look, when you believe in something and, you guys think about this, you work a day job, you do on your weekends, you take your time, you get together with your guys, you go out and do this. And do you ever think, maybe not in our lifetime, but do you ever think that we'll find a body or something like that of some sort, some better? It is scary stuff, Joe. And I mean, it is scary because we know there's something out there. If people think we're the only people on this planet, they're out of your mind. I mean, I don't know if there's more out there, and we kind of know that. But do you think we'll ever find a body?
Eventually it'll happen. I mean, there's stories where over the road truck drivers have hit them and they've come and took the bodies away. There's stories, bodies were recovered when Mount St. Helens blew. There's stories like that, but sadly, eventually something's probably going to happen. But
yeah, we're waiting for it, and we're all excited about it. But the problem, okay, so and another thing, there was a big debate. If you're a hunter out there and you've seen one, and you took a shot at one, because you'd have to. How do you get it to say, look, guys, I found one? You put a dart to put them out. You don't want to kill them. Nobody wants to do that. So what happens when something like that comes at you? I mean, Mike, say you see one. What do you do?
Well, the thing is, if you're going to take a shot at something, one, what if it is somebody in a suit and you're shooting a long distance, and if you shoot this thing, if it's not a Bigfoot, it's somebody in a suit, you've killed somebody. That's a big problem.
Sure.
But, I think most people, and they should have a problem shooting something if it's not attacking you and it's, it's just there. It's kind of weird to shoot at something standing upright like you. It's not a deer. It's not
right.
A bear. Different, but there's a lot of ramifications. There's a county, Skamania, I think, county in Washington, and you're not allowed to shoot them there. It's on their in their bio.
Yeah, it's actually in their thing, right? They take it pretty serious up there. You know what? And I know some people are going to look at us like, yeah, look, there was a lot of shows out there. What did you think of Finding Bigfoot?
I liked it.
Yeah.
There's a couple episodes, the Vermont one where the creature was taking the apples off the tree.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, yeah, I like that one with that moneymaker guy. What do you think of him?
Don't know him. I know, BFRO. God, I'm trying not to say the wrong thing here. They're kind of their own thing, and if you're not part of it, you're kind of an outsider.
I got it.
And I think I don't agree with that, but that's that's their thing, and we're doing our thing and whatever. But there's a lot of and I'll say this: there's a lot of Bigfooters that won't share information because some people think like, hey, I'm gonna be the one that has the smoking gun that proves this, and I'm gonna make $1 million. And that's just the wrong way to look at things, I believe. I'm doing this because it caught my attention. I used to play sports when I was younger and skinnier. Now I do this, and I work for UPS. I don't have a lot of free time.
Right.
20-year-old son,
sure.
And other things to do. I would not be. Waste my time doing that's Luna. He wants to be on TV. I would not be wasting my time if there wasn't something there. I could find something else to do.
Absolutely.
Something. Go traveling, whatever. Go, travel the world, whatever. See something. There's something there. I've been out enough. The tracks, the tree breaks, the weird stuff like that, and these howls that I know are not a coyote or anything else. That's what brings me back, and there's something there. And I would not be wasting my time if there wasn't. I tell you, I
agree with you. I believe there's something out there, Michael, and it's for people like you guys with the Ohio Night Stalkers. I hope you guys can find something. I hope somebody can find it. I hope they can, if they do find it, turn it into somewhere where they can be left alone, let them live their life, and stop badgering these, I mean, from what you hear. There's people out there that's like your group, just trying to find them, just trying to see what they're up to. But then there's some, like you said, waiting for that big money shot. And though, if that comes down, it would be huge, Michael, and there would be a lot of money in that. You know that.
Yeah.
Big time. And but that, like I said, not everybody's doing it for the money. And I appreciate what you guys are doing, because you guys are real and you guys keep doing what you're doing. And I appreciate it very much for your time and your team. Keep us posted, man. I hope you send us some more good stuff. But thank you, Michael, for your group. It's Michael Miller from the Ohio Night Stalkers. And you got all, speaking of music, okay, this is different. It's nothing to do with Bigfoot, but Ohio had some good music. I mean, you did have the Pretenders for a while, Chrissy Hine. Michael Stanley was big with Ohio, but my favorite band of all time is the Raspberries. I don't know if you're a Raspberries fan. Eric Carmen, big guy from Ohio. The Choir, we're going back a little bit, but that was huge in Ohio.
I'm kind of more into the metal kind of thing.
Okay, all right, okay, I got it. Okay, have you been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Not yet. I'm supposed to go this year.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool out there. Oh, anyway, Michael, sorry, but just keep doing what you're doing, brother. And thank you so much. And Happy New Year, pal.
Thank you. And thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Len. Mike Miller, ladies and gentlemen, from the Ohio Night Stalkers. And like I'm trying to say to you guys, believe it or don't believe it, don't laugh at it, because it's something that's there. We don't know. We will never know what's in these woods. We will never know what's deep down in these oceans. We will never know everything that's up on those mountains. We just don't know. And I think they don't want us to know from what I'm thinking. Patrick Haig, how you doing? My good for Robert Provenzano, live from New Orleans, buddy. I'm glad you guys are doing well. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the game. Patrick, that's all right, buddy. It was always great to see you guys. So like I said, you're going to get people that believe it, you don't, but I believe in something that's out there, folks. And thank you for the Ohio Night Stalkers for doing what they're doing. And you never know, maybe we'll find something here. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. You know what? These stories that you guys sending me in, I love some of this stuff. Fox News, California. This is in California. Cops pull up. They see a Rolls Royce in the road, dead. And they get into it. They see it. They open it up. And there's a spider monkey in the Rolls Royce. This is news, folks. This is news. Whose Rolls Royce is it? Number one. Number two, why did they leave the spider monkey in there? I know. Today's one of those crazy shows. Our prayers go out to Tiger Beach, from 27-year-old from Tampa Bay, Florida. He was a track and field. He was a football player, high school. He was one of the people killed in the Bourbon Street attacks. Just horrible. When we're looking more at that stuff and more stuff that we are finding, and I've been pulling some of their stuff out towards the end, if I can find some of their stuff. And you're doing all the research and everything now. They're saying what's coming out, and it's scary to the point when now it's getting into the military, and I'm just trying to find out where. Well, let's go this one first. Just in, law enforcement sources have confirmed that Matt Liversberger, 37 years old, of Colorado Springs, was the Trump Las Vegas Cybertruck bomber. Liversberger, who killed himself in the blast, was still active duty Green Beret operations sergeant that was on leave. This is just some of the stories, folks. How about this? Now, this is the thing that's getting me. What's going on at Fort Bragg? Our military? The suspects in yesterday's attacks on Bourbon Street, of course, 2 days ago, New Orleans, and Trump Tower in Las Vegas both served at Fort Bragg, the same military base that Ryan Roth visited over 100 times before attempting to take out Donald Trump. All of it in Fort Bragg. Are you following these stories, folks? Are you trying to put this stuff together here? What is going on? Law enforcement, we've just said about the Liversberger who killed active duty. Okay, we already mentioned that story already. But what is going on here? It's scaring the shit out of me. It should be scaring the shit out of you. Former Super Bowl wide receiver Wesley Bailey died at the age of 40 years old, died of Parkinson's disease. That's all I'm hearing. It's all people either dying and that's it. That's all we're hearing lately. It's crazy. You're watching Ocean's Pit, little show about big thing today, folks. It's Friday, the 3rd of January. Let's get to Jack Vena Landscaping. You got to love it, folks. Their monthly offer maintenance programs, bush trimming, spring, fall cleanup, bed mulching, fertilizing, weed control. They offer plant design service, installation, North Shore for over 44 years. They do fall gutter cleanup. Sign up with them now, man, because they're very busy, but they do an incredible job. Call Tommy at 847-432-5266. Yesterday, I'm sitting there minding my own business at home, and my tooth bent. And I don't even remember even eating anything. So, my God, yesterday I had to go with a tooth was bent. So I went this morning. Thank God they got me in and they fixed it as best they could. As best they could. So thank you, Dr. Francis, if you're listening, for taking me in. And then I got my hair cut this morning, so I was running around crazy stuff today. Anyway, you guys, it's just the stories. You guys keep sending me more stuff and more gigs. So let me tell you what else we got coming up. Next Thursday, the 9th of January, we'll be at Capri, Osteria Capri in Downers Grove. Joey and Giovanna's place. I'm excited. Me and James will be there. That's a 6 o'clock hit, 6 to 9. And then on the Friday, the 10th, Ocean's Rat Pack will be at the Impact Fuel Room in Libertyville. About 20 tickets left. They'll be sold out. I can't wait for that show. It's a new venue for us, so I'm excited about going out there. That'll be the 10th. On the 11th, will be a Big Sammy's in Plainfield. Great restaurant in Plainfield, me and Jerry Jams. On the 13th, we'll be at Bugsy's in McHenry, visiting my good friend Ryan Rhino on the 13th. And 2 more shows coming up in February for Ocean's Rat Pack fans, folks. On Valentine's Day, we'll be at 115 Bourbon Street on the south side of Chicago, Marionette Park. Love that place. I can't wait to do that show. It's going to be fun. And also, we're back in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. For all you Lake Geneva fans, we'll be at Pier 290 on Saturday, February 22nd with Ocean's Rat Pack Dinner Show. We did it last year. We sold it out. It was a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that stuff, man. Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. What else we got today? What else? Who else is watching? Oh, there you are. Let's bring you back. Sorry there, Herb. Trying to get all right. Let's see. There's Herbie. Sorry guys, I lost Herbie there for a minute. Anyway, Ultra Mind Control. Yeah, it is. It's scary. There's Ronnie B. Elvis. What's up, my brother? I hope you're doing well. All right, let's get to some more headline stories. And whether it's a small story or a big story, it just happens. And it's happening more and more, all this crazy stuff. Heads up to anyone who was in the Village Mobile gas station on East Higgins Road near Oak Grove Village, near the home here, near our home at least. Let me get back on that. I'm sorry, folks. Just my mind is just moving off to something else here real fast. Okay. Anyway, the coroner, Arlington Heights Road in Higgins, it turned from an appointment to state attorney office. Anyway, I stopped at the Village Mobile on my way home and bought another permanent payout ticket. Reported that these are lottery tickets that people are buying. They stopped at the Village Mobile on the way home and bought another peppermint payout ticket for $3. After asking the clerk to scan it, the same error message popped up twice. Visit Lottery Claim Center. These are tickets they bought at the gas station. Okay. They filed a claim with the state and reported the business and police. Incredibly frustrating to find out that they're selling, this particular gas station was selling stolen lottery tickets. So this is just one place, folks, that was caught. So be careful when you're buying these lottery tickets out there. I don't play the lottery, but just be careful out there because you don't know what's out there. That's how crazy it is. Some more crazy comments are coming up the way this world is right now. We just can't. I thought you got quit drinking for a new year. That was last year. Richard. Good point. Felix, what's up, my brother? I hope you're having a great new year. Nissan. How many people drive Nissans? Well, they just came out and made an appointment. They made an announcement they will no longer sponsor Pride events. Nissan Motor is scaling back diversity incentives, for the U.S., halting funds for Pride events and canceling hiring promotion quotes diverse. Why do they, even if they, whatever they do, why does this stuff have to be news? They can just keep that shit private, right? Whatever they want to do. If they don't want to sponsor something, they don't have to sponsor it. They don't have to put it out on the air so everybody knows about it. Oh, my God. Now, here's something that you remember going out to bars with your buddies. And there's also girls at the bars, bartenders, blah, blah, blah. You always have to watch out for some sneaky people that try to do stuff to people's drinks. How many times have you heard, my girl say, oh, my God, my drink's been spiked or something's been spiked? There's people, they're average Joes. Look, there are outstanding scumbags that decide to spike and drug female drinks everywhere. Everyone should know them. And there's just two different guys here, a guy named John Benish and John Mackey. If you know of any of these guys were caught doing this. People putting spiked stuff in girls' drinks or even guys' drinks these days, whatever it is. What is wrong with you people? Really? Just to what? To take advantage of some of these people? There's some crazy people in this world, and nothing surprises me anymore. And as it gets closer and closer to the new president coming in the 20th of January, not that far away, it's scary to me. I don't know if it's scary to you, but it is definitely scary to me. President Joe Biden, for a very short term, urged the rush approval to bird flu shot to set up Trump. Now, these are headlines on the X or Twitter, if you follow that. Chinese doctor Lorraine Wen, who called for mandating shots during the pandemic and barring the unvaccinated from leaving their homes, is now advising the Biden administration to expedite the approval of the big pharma's bird flu shot vaccine. Are you ready in line for it? Oh, I can't wait to go out and get it. Some people might be getting it right now. My God, what's wrong with these people? Look at this. WGN. 3 people into custody after multiple people were stabbed at a restaurant in Oak Forest Saturday afternoon. I mean, I can't find anything happy anymore. It's like one thing after another. We're talking about this. We go from one extreme to the other. We're talking about sports and Lou Holtz. I love what he said about football because we got the Super Bowl coming up. One more game this Sunday between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. I think Green Bay will destroy the Bears. The Bears have just lost it, and we don't even have to go through how bad of a year they were. But this is what Lou Holtz said, and Jerry Jam sent me this. Thank you, Jerry. Legendary football coach Lou Holtz was asked to describe the difference between football players today and those of 50 years ago. He answered simple. Today's athletes talk about rights and privileges, and the players 50 years ago talked about obligations and responsibilities. There's the difference. Absolutely. Right, Patrick? Those guys are losers. Sad world we live in, Jill. Income tax, the fine you pay for being productive. Income tax. Welfare, the reward you get for being unproductive. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Florida City Port St. Lucie has temporarily stopped adding fluoride to its water supply. Breaking news in Florida, ladies and gentlemen. One thing after another. Now, we were talking about Bigfoot earlier. I know you guys think I'm whacked today, but I believe in all that cryptozoology stuff. That's just me. But anyway, we had Mike Miller on from Ohio Night Stalkers. Check him out if you're into that. It's pretty cool. Now they're just saying that in Turkey, reportedly they found the possible tomb of Santa Claus, St. Nicholas. Now, we know that St. Nicholas was a real person, not the big heavy-set guy with the red suit and the chimney, the reindeers. Very interesting stuff. They're finding more and more stuff. He was actually a bishop, the 4th century bishop, who inspired the tale of Santa Claus. So I love looking at all this stuff. And then you got to find the story where it's the guy's on this, like, out of nowhere, got an idea, he's not that, doesn't have that great of a job, or the money's not that great, but he was an inventor for the windshield wiper. You heard about this story, right? He tried to sell the idea to auto industries and was turned away. When it began showing up on new cars, he sued and won. In the 1960s, inventor Robert Kearns developed the intermittent windshield wiper, inspired by the human eyes of blinking. That's how the guy came up with the idea. When the major automakers like Ford and Chrysler began incorporating similar systems without consent, Kearns' legal team battles protection for his invention. After years in court, he secured settlements and judgments totaling over $30 million, highlighting the challenges individual inventors face against large corporations. This is the money that he finally got back. That's right, Patrick. Craig Kinnear did play him in a movie, and it was a great movie, actually, but interesting story. See, he gave these ideas to somebody, we don't want it, and then they end up taking it and coming up with the invention. Of course, karma's a bitch and it has no calendar, so there you go. Daily cigar smokers who do not inhale live an average of 2.35 years longer than non-cigar smokers. Something you might want to investigate there, if that is true or not. If Jerry Jams is watching, that could. BC, we don't die from stress. The stress will kill you faster. There's a study performed by NIH that actually suggests cigar smokers are less likely to get some cancers and disease than even non-smokers, mostly related to their system. So I don't know if that's true or not. I'm hoping it is. COVID-19 facts. Even we're talking about some stuff that's old, but remember when it first came out? We didn't know. We were all scared. Do this, don't leave the house, blah, blah, blah. But I remember, here's one of the signs that was on the window of some of the stores, if you remember this. The virus can travel 6 feet. It cannot travel 6.1 or greater. It can live on all services except anything that comes in the mail from Amazon. It does not live in Target, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, or any other grocery store. It's harmless and protests riots and looting. It is only deadly in bars, restaurants, small businesses, hair salons. It cannot live on your food as long as you get it to go. Oh, I love this one. Jimmy from Indianapolis sent that one in. Pretty funny stuff, folks. You're watching Ocean's Pit, a little show about big things. How about another sponsor? Louis Pipes, my good friend Louis from Airtight Windows. If you're looking for new windows and you want it done right, do it right with Airtight. For honesty, quality, dependability, do it right with Airtight. Servicing Chicagoland for 35 years, do it right with Airtight. Call my buddy Louis Pipes at 708-788-5000 and tell him Tony O sent you, because buy local, shop local. That's what it's all about. You got to love it, my good friends from Airtight Windows. I hope you guys are having a great day. It's Friday, the 3rd of January. Supposed to get snow Sunday through Tuesday. So all you snow guys out there, you know how much I love snow, so I'm excited. Mouthwash for people that eat poop. There you go. That's an invention. That's a great invention there. There you go, boy. Yes, we're friends, my good friend Ryan. I hope you're doing well. Jeanette, thank you. Oh, my bracelet, thank you. Tony Toto gave us this for Christmas. And then, of course, God's Plan. My son gave me that one. So thank you for that. It was very nice of you. Okay, now this is something that's interesting. A lot of fog and everything. Have you noticed that more lately? I've noticed that too. Nearly a third of the United States population, spanning 27 states, is experiencing an unprecedented wave of dense fog, the thickness in nearly 2 decades. While mainstream media claims that the extreme fog was perfectly normal for the season, social media is buzzing with reports of bizarre odors and unexplained illnesses linked to the phenomenon, with similar accounts emerging from the UK to the United States. In this situation, who should we trust, our own eyes and senses, or the mainstream media that places its faith on Dr. Fauci and vaccines? What is this fog? Here's another thing we have to worry about. Here's another thing. What's going on in this country? Are they putting this stuff in? Are they trying to get us sick? Who knows? It's crazy. It's just nuts in this world. I don't even know how people that bring up families and stuff now going into this, people who have children, like, I'm worried about my grandson. I don't know what's going to happen, man, from years to come. It's scary. All right. We're a couple minutes left here, folks. Let's talk about TV shows. There's a bunch of TV shows out there. You see guys on the show. You're thinking, boy, it's running 10 seasons, 20 seasons, 30 seasons, whatever it is. It's a successful show. You're thinking they're making a lot of money. But about a guy named Jeffrey Owens, best known as Elvin on The Cosby Show. He's still struggling financially as a middle-class actor, despite brief opportunities after going viral in 2018 for working at Trader Joe's. I struggle every day to make ends meet. You might remember Jeffrey Owens played Elvin. There he is from The Cosby Show. So I don't know. Sometimes they make their money, how they save it. Sometimes you think, you got to ask, what would Elon do? You're right, Boyd. I'm sure he's coming up with something, my friend. You're absolutely right. Travis Kelce's brother couldn't tolerate a fan. So he took Bad Bunny style and took his camera and shoved it and threw it on the floor and smashed it. Well, you know what? In some cases, if I had somebody with the camera on me all the time, I guess I'd be kind of irritated too. But why don't you try to be a little bit more nicer about it? You know what I mean? But who knows? We're not in that situation. All right. It's just nuts here. Look at this. This one teen alleged to be from Bensonville. A teen carjacked couple of gunpoint outside Addison movie theater this past weekend. When you hear about it other places, okay, we know it's bad. But when you hear it around your home, that red light, man, it just flies up. Tucker Carlson News. James Woods, a great supportive actor, just said we need to pass an amendment. A constitutional amendment declaring Election Day as a national holiday. Paper ballots may only be cast in person by American citizen registered voters who present government-issued voter ID. Do you think Election Day should be I think it should be a day off. It should be like a holiday. I agree with James Woods on that. I think that's very important. We're going to get back on that. Boy, I'm trying to come up with some good stories here. How about this? Nick Cannon says he has mastered his game. I guess he's a singer. I'm not quite sure, but Nick Cannon says he has mastered the game after having 12 children with 6 baby mothers. 6 different mothers. He's got 12 kids. He's mastered the game. Maybe you should have stuck to masturbating. You might have been a lot better. 12 kids with 6 different women? Holy cow. I don't know. It's nuts. Anyway, folks, I'm just not with it today for some reason. I guess the tooth. I got the tooth replayed. Some of the stuff might still be in there. I don't know. How about Armando Supermarkets? Buy local, shop local, 925 Liberty Street in Elgin, Illinois. And Mike and Gigi from Crash Champions Collision Auto Repair for all your collision auto repair needs. I want to thank our friend Mike Miller from Ohio Night Stalkers. They follow, man. They got about 20,000 followers, and I think it's pretty cool. You got to ask. Very, very cool, guys. Thank you, man. He can afford it, right? Absolutely. All right, tonight we'll be at Chicago Prime Steakhouse in Schaumburg, celebrating my 7th year at being there every Friday. I don't know how many entertainers out there. I can't speak. I don't know them all, but they can actually have a steady gig one night a week on a Friday for 7 years straight at the same place. I'm very proud of that. And George and Ari and the whole staff there at Chicago Prime let me take about 5 or 6, 7 Saturdays on Fridays off that I can do other shows with. But we're celebrating. This will be starting my 7th year tonight. It starts with me and my buddy Jerry Jams. Tomorrow's a private event. But then next week, like I said, Osteria Capri in Downers Grove next Thursday. The Impact Fuel Room in Libertyville next Friday. We will not be at Chicago Prime. That will be at the Oceans Rat Pack. And the 11th will be at Big Sammy's in Plainfield. Birthdays. Peter Tork, former Monkey, celebrating a birthday. Lauren Bracco, loved her. Dr. Melfi from The Sopranos, 70 years old. Nuno Beckendorf from Extreme, 56 years old. Guitar player. Roberta Flack, 83 years old. Danny Serafin used to be in Chicago, celebrating a birthday. The producer, Phil Spector, celebrating a birthday. Lou Graham, former singer of Foreigner. Jimmy Hart, the Mouth of the South, 81 years old. Sir Anthony Hopkins, celebrating a birthday. Matthew Beard Jr., that was Stymie in The Little Rascals, celebrating a birthday. Stevie Nicks, 76 years old. Don Henley from the Eagles. Tim Curry, celebrating a birthday. Let's see. Christy Blumenberg. Christy, captain's wife. I hope you're having a great birthday. Mel Gibson is 68 years old. And Vince Raimondi, I don't know if you're watching today. Vince turns 86 years old yesterday. Happy birthday, Vince Raimondi. And I hope you're doing well. Guys, it's time for us to go. And we'll be back on Monday, same time, same bat channel. And then Tuesday, Carol Brandolino for Twisted Tuesday and Laura coming in on Thursday. So we got some good guests coming up next Wednesday and Friday. Guys, buy local, shop local, support local establishments, support live entertainment. Be kind to one another. And don't forget to shop at the #1 place. Ace is the place. Ace Hardware. Download the Ace Rewards app. Easy way to keep track of your points, coupons, and special offers. That's Ace Hardware, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. Guys, right now in time, 2025, new president coming in less than, 19 days, whatever it is. Just try to all come together. We need it. Try to be a little bit nicer to people. It's not going to be easy, but we got to all try. Come together, as John Lennon would say. In the great words of Ringo Starr, peace, and love. Have an incredible weekend, everybody. And thank you so much for putting up with me today. My tooth is still killing me, but it's fixed at least. I said it would hurt for a couple hours. Anyway, guys, you have an incredible day. Peace and love. Thank you so much. Nick Sahajas.
Time to go, it's the end of the show. See you later from town.
Bye-bye, everybody.